We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These are the first few words to the preamble of the Declaration of Independence, which was written by John Adams and approved by Congress on May 15, 1776. It is anything but certain that our current Congress would approve even the preamble to the Declaration of Independence, much less the Declaration in total, which was unanimously approved July 4th, 1776. America was founded upon the concept of free will, constrained by government only to the extent to where my free will negatively affects someone else's. Free will is not granted to us by the government, only constrained by it with our consent. This constrained free will is called by many names. Justice, freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are just four. When their government became overly restrictive of free will, when it would not listen to the people's cry for equality, when it became oppressors instead of guardians of justice, our forefathers wrote the Declaration of Independence. Is there anyone now who can lead us with such intelligence and wisdom? To break the ties with their homeland and with their families was not an easy task and was not undertaken lightly. It was also not a unanimous decision with all of the citizens. In my family, it pitted a father against his firstborn son. Each felt it was his responsibility and duty to fight for his cause. Because of all who fought for the revolution, we have these immortal words at the foundation of our country. The U.S. Constitution was created in secret with Thomas Jefferson and Patrick Henry, who favored states' rights not even being invited. This led many to feel that the Constitution ignored the rights of the states to be able to act independently. Thus, the seed of discord was sown at the very creation of this historic document. The success of our Constitution is why many countries have tried to copy us, and why others envy us. Free will drove the battle that almost destroyed this nation. Again, I had members of my family fighting on both sides of the conflict, and I'm proud of them all. To fight for what one believes in is the ultimate sacrifice for the cause of free will. That the country could come together again after this civil war is a testament to the honor and dignity of our people. It is the shining example of freedom to the world. World Wars I and II could never have been won without the fighting men and women of and loans from America. After the wars were over, America sent money and workers to rebuild. After World War II, many countries were indebted to the U.S. in amounts they could never repay. So, over 50 years later, Bill Clinton forgave their debts. Great Britain did not want their debts forgiven and finally paid the last installment in 2009. Now, our president president is treating this honorable country like trash and the defaulters like friends. The ingenuity of our people has led to the greatest advances since the Industrial Revolution. These huge leaps came about because of the freedoms guaranteed by our Constitution. To paraphrase Glenn Beck, Thomas Paine and others of our founding fathers were the original bloggers. It's why freedom of speech was written into the Constitution. Now the government is trying to severely limit freedom of speech by giving the president emergency control of the internet, the fairness doctrine, and many other things. The pursuit of happiness is explicit and psychologically true. Man cannot truly be happy unless he is working toward a goal. In other words, unless he is pursuing something he thinks will make him happy. Often, when we attain our goal, we find it does not make us happy. It was the work that made us happy. It is our responsibility to teach our children that the government can never provide a decent life for anyone. To have that, you must work hard. Nobody is truly happy or even satisfied with things that are given to them without any effort on their part. The phrase, the pursuit of happiness, has come to be interpreted by those on the left as meaning that everything that would make a people happy should be given to them. This is far from the truth, and this interpretation is bankrupting our country. The current batch of congressmen and women believe in the nanny state philosophy that says people should have their every need supplied to them. That is anything but what John Adams envisioned. We need to return to the vision and philosophy of our forefathers. We have been given the greatest country on earth with freedoms guaranteed by our Constitution. That is, until now. Now, we have an administration that apologizes for American excellence and a Congress that is in lockstep right behind. If we are ever to get back to the ideals of our founders, we need to exercise our right to vote and put people in Congress that reflect those ideals. American excellence, free will, and ingenuity can stop the flow of oil in the Gulf of Mexico and prevent it from happening again, if the government will get out of the way.